it's so easy now. You can get your protein from practically like anywhere. You can get B12 is like is put into all kinds of vegan cheeses, and it's put into like soy milk, almond milk, that kind of thing. It's like if you have a latte, and you know, I used to go to Costa, which is like Starbucks in the UK, I guess, and I saw one day that they were doing these new vanilla almond lattes, which looked kind of nice. So I started drinking that. I was drinking it for ages, and it took me ages to realize that what they meant by that was a vanilla latte with almond milk. I was drinking a vegan, I didn't even notice, and I realized that's probably the same, in the same way that I just swapped out milk for plant-based milk. Just do the same thing with your burger patty, and then do the same thing with like the milk that you have with your breakfast, whatever, and you just, every single thing that you think you're going to miss, there's an alternative for. And the craziest thing is, the ethical argument is so strong in favor of it that even if it were the case that I would have to make eating a purely functional thing, and I hate all of my meals and they tasted horrible, and I was even like slightly like more tired and skinnier than all, then I'd still do it because the ethical argument is that strong. The fact of the matter is, it's not even that bad. The fact that we can do this and still have nice meals and still get the right nutrients, and still, you know, I'm not somebody who hits the gym much as it is, but if you want to, you can be that guy. And the fact that we can still do that stuff and act in line with everything, I think is something to celebrate, and is the reason why so many people are beginning to do it, and certainly the reason why I started it.
And I can't argue with anything you said, except for one thing. I don't think there is a substitute for bacon.
I agree. I second that.
And you know, I do miss it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it does taste. You get a lot of vegans who say like, you know, oh man, it tastes the same. Like no, like nothing tastes nicer than meat. But like,
right, yeah.
I just you got to be aware of the suffering that it takes to get it.
Well, that's impressive. I mean, like I said, hats off to you for being able to do it. I've been there and thought the same thing about, you know, I'm being hypocritical, but every time that I'm around, I just can't do it. I mean, you know, I'm not that. Even though I know I should, I just can't. So hats off to you for.
You know, I thought the same thing like a month or two ago, and eventually I think it sounds like, you know, the ethical component is there for you, and it was for me for a very long time. It's gonna, you know, it's different for every person, but there will be one kind of emotional motivation that might come out of nowhere. I don't know what it would take for different people, but once that comes, because the ethical argument is already in place, it will probably be easier than you think.
I'm the kind of person that, you know, those Sarah McLachlan commercials with the animals. I die for the remote to turn it. Like, I can't do it. I cannot do it. So, where'd you fly from?
Alaska.
Oh, my bad.
Where did I fly in from?
Yeah, some people may not want to say that on stream. I guess I should ask that first before I dox.
You can't. Everyone knows. You can just walk up to Alaska and say, "Where is Zod?"
I heard Zod was here.
Hit me on Alaska now.
Everyone in Alaska knows each other.
Okay, just like we're not talking about where Zod's from. Okay. Wherever you are from. How was your trip?
Got on airplanes and sat on them. It was about as fun as usual.
Nice. Now, you had the best argument for kinds. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
As everybody knows, Kent Hovind is somebody that we've had on when he debated Arn. And one of the sticking points was the kinds argument. Kent says that kinds are a thing. Arn tried to explain to him why they weren't, and that different kinds can't come from, you know, this kind. Can you kind of reiterate, and if you haven't seen the Zod video, you need to go watch it. Can you reiterate how you brilliantly broke that down?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I could say it was brilliant, but
it was.
Okay. Kyle, say it for you.
I was prompting you to say that again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just made a conversation between two different people where someone was showing off his house and explaining renovations he'd made, and
whoever that actor was terrible.
Which one?
The one explaining the window.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
I think that was Vice Rhino, wasn't it?
Was it Vice Rhino?
Oh, yeah.
I was confused. I thought you had to be insulting me, but I didn't think I played that role.
So you're just insulting yourself?
Yes, exactly.
Well played, Paul. Well played.
Oh, Paul.
I even made one to look like me, and my son's like, "Hey, that's you." But yes, anyway, Vice Rhino was showing off his house to me, or we were playing the characters, and he was explaining how he'd renovated some windows. And long story short, I was able to accept that he could change the size of a window or the opening. But then when he said he changed the window into a sliding glass door, I called him a liar and explained that windows can never become doors because they're different kinds of openings. And that,
I mean,
That was great.
Ken has stuck by that argument for
His slavery video is the best video.
years.
The-
Actually,
the best. The
no.
slavery video is the best one.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
No,
No, I will
the
fight
Cain
you right
the
now.
Cain and
Fight
Abel,
your face.
because I was
You
Cain.
know, because you were in it. Okay,
Yeah.
well, fine. Yeah,
You need-
Steve
you need to
won.
say your thing.
I was in it.
what you always call the godless engineer.
Goat fucker. Yeah.
Yeah, but in that series, we're Kyle's parents.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
right. I am your mom.
See, the thing is, this is where like Problems Eyes like such a genius, because it's the little things. He took the leaves that Adam and Eve wear, like you see in the
You
paintings.
made them make-
He made them maple leaves.
I laughed
That's
so hard when I
brilliant.
saw that. And there was tears coming down my eyes.
So how is it? You're the content creator that does videos where it's you in the in the real life,
Yes.
and then you have a cartoon series. How do you have time to do both, and which do you like better?
I think I like the cartoons better. I enjoy, it's a lot of fun to put together, and I like getting different people's voices involved and stuff. And it's a very quick, succinct way, if you take the time and script it right, to put a lot of ideas and make them flow quickly instead of just expounding on them in a speech or whatever.
And your writing style is like, I think everybody can agree, is just dead on.
He
Like,
cuts right through all of the minutia and is like right down to the crux of the point. Like all of them are like reductio ad absurdum. Like each
Yeah.
one of those cartoons is just like, hey, here's a scenario where the exact same argument is taking place in real life in the way that we view things now. It's ridiculous, right? Look at it.
yeah, they're very well written.
They're great.
And like you have a talent, I think, for cutting through, like Shannon said too, show either the contradictions or where hypocrisy lies, but you do it in a way that is sort of like, I would say, South Park-esque, where they're able to, and I mean that in the like a huge compliment. They're able to take something that's going on and really turn it into a different sort of situation that people can sort of relate to, like the Kynes thing. But you did a thing with Jimmy and the Mormons.
Yeah.
Which I thought was brilliant. What is the most shocking thing that you've learned in your since you've been doing YouTube, like whether it be the Mormon thing or going after various like Dr. Butts? What's been the most shocking claim that you've heard?
Boy, it's hard to remember the last time I've been shocked by an apologist.
Good point.
Because it all just sounds the same and you get jaded by it. But the Mormon thing is the only new thing I've heard. So I think,
That seemed deep.
yeah, I think the fact that they literally thought Jesus came back twice to explain things in two different ways, and that everything in the U.S. literally got turned over in earthquakes and stuff, like, I don't know. It's hard to really think that that's actually stranger than fundamentalist Christianity, but it's stranger to me. It's different. So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
The submarine though, how is the submarine, like Jesus coming back twice, I'm like, yeah, I can hand wave that off, but them having a submarine that they use the light from the mountain to drive across, and then everybody gets a planet. Everybody gets
It's a
a
good
planet.
deal. You
Let's
can't
talk,
turn it down.
Everyone.
let's talk about how things went the other night.
What other night?
Point to yourself. Where are you pointing? With the rank count.
My nose. I'm pointing to my nose.
How do I don't know if you've seen the comments, but
No, I haven't. I've been so busy. Why? It's intense.
well, it's about 20% like really bad. Like his people.
Like every
Did you
video
watch-
I've ever posted on
Did you
YouTube
watch the
ever.
stream that he did after leaving you and I?
No, you sent it to me this morning, but I was at airports.
Okay, let me give you the
Okay.
TLDR. Now he
Okay.
had 3 people in there, right? He had a guy named like Fourth Amendment person, and then this lady named Jenny. Now Jenny seems super sweet, but
Okay.
she called me a demon seed, I believe.
She called you a demon.
Right,
Right.
and
Okay.
and you're fallen.
I'm fallen,
Right.
but I'm not a demon. Point for me.
Now here's some context. This is in defense of a person that we had on that we were talking to
Right.
that literally said that Beyonce
What's an energy
was an energy
vampire?
vampire.
In my
That
life,
Beyonce,
yeah.
now, this was his
Never.
proof. She comes out to do it and give me your energy.
Right. And that is her literally taking their energy.
Right.
Right. Like Dragon Ball Z.
Right. That's
Yeah.
the question that I asked. I said, okay, when she does,
Sometimes I don't know about my life, Kyle.
when she says
Ever
that,
since I met you, it got weird.
what's the transaction? Like, what are people? Okay, you heard her. Like, what are you?
Here's my
Some
energy.
kind of carbon tax type of thing.
And like, why did she have to ask for it if she's capable of sucking energy out of people? I've thought about this more than I really even fucking need to. But like, if she's capable of sucking energy out of people, why does she need to ask for them to be like, here you go?
Yeah.
Why can't she just suck the energy out of
Rand
people?
Campbell was a guy that came on and he broadcasted from the Amazon rainforest in a hut. Was he not? That's not. He showed it like he's in the Amazon rainforest. There's this like hut coming out.
Mhm.
He said that he went out there because he needed to get humble.
Right. And then he had a self-congratulatory stream right after.
Afterwards,
Awful.
2 hours. It was Rand kept saying, well, well, I think we can say with confidence what's wrong with homosexual.
He said that on the stream?
Yes.
Rand, stop being such a dick. God.
During your stream, you just kept calling you well dressed.
I know.
Which
And
is-
at one point in time, he said you would know
euphemism.
what it was like to be a girl. Like, you know about that, Kyle. And I was like, apologize to him.
That was the funny thing because he kept saying, how you look. I mean, look. Obviously, your dad raised you well. And I was like, what do you mean? Well, look, you dress real nice. And I'm like,
Yeah, because that's a good sign.
that's because I'm gay. I spent a lot of time in the closet. All right.
A lot of time to try on.
Yeah, I gotta pick out some outfits while you're in there, right?
Yeah, but he said that this is why the Bible says that that's an abomination. It's because you have people like Kyle who believes the way that he did, and he didn't like the fact that I pushed back on the island thing. He thought he had me dead to right. Okay, if you're on an island and it catches on fire, I build you a bridge.
Oh, yeah, that was so ridiculous.
I build your bridge. He's making the analogy to God. But I said yes, but the difference is in that scenario, you lit the island on fire and then you built me a bridge. You put me on the island.
And it's an invisible bridge that you can't see.
Right.
And I just have to
Yeah.
walk randomly and be like,
You
maybe this
expect-
is where the bridge
You
is.
expect me to worship you because you set the island on fire and then you built me a bridge. That's my only way out. And you hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amongst all the other bridges that lead nowhere.
But more importantly, I will kill you.
Wait, like 5G as in wireless?
Yes, he said that the murder of that what was his name? Nipsey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hustle,
Rapper.
hustle.
That was a distraction to distract people away from their unveiling 5G.
Right.
That's no.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah, I was there. It happened.
Steve.
And I was so
Steve,
upset.
why is Rand Campbell the way he is? You're old friends with Rand. What's going on with Rand?
I am thoroughly convinced that Rand is a Poe. He is a commensurate con artist. He came into the community as a con artist. He has history of literally being a con artist. That's not even hyperbole. He was, before he came into the community, a con artist, and he was a pimp. He literally had hookers working for him. So nothing he says, I take with a grain of salt. Like, matter of fact, years ago, people may not remember this, but I remember the history. He had actually argued one time that he was in a fight with an anaconda and it started to swallow him. He had to fight his way out with a knife. And this was in Africa. Yeah, wait. It gets better. We had explained to him, or they had explained to him that anacondas are not in Africa. They're in South America, to which he said, well, yes, I realize that, but it was an anaconda that escaped from a local zoo. This is what I do not believe a damn thing that he says. Okay, I am not making this history up. You can go validate this with other people that have been in the community for a long while. He is a commensurate liar.
On the list. Did he not? He wouldn't agree to come on the list.
Well, that's because I'm nice to people.
And how many times did he say, "Oh, I just think you're a lovely person"?
I am a lovely person, Kyle.
I know, but I don't say it like. I mean, you have a guy in the Amazon rainforest up in a hut saying, "You're just a lovely person."
My dreams have come true.
He's an energy vampire. The thing is, like, I can see him being a parent. I can totally see him
Yeah.
like saying,